Hi there, and thank you for being with me here today. I'm Suzanne Roth-Paul. I'm a certified primal health coach and the author of the Poisons in Your Pantry eBooks. And I believe that toxins in our foods and in our environment are the root cause of chronic diseases and disorders. And as always, if you know me well, I will be sharing a lot of information about how toxins are impacting headaches and your pain that you might be suffering from. And I love to cover this subject because I want you to know that our foods that we eat and that the environment that which we live really does play a big part on how we feel. So I'm going to be covering a lot of information today, so I hope you'll stay with me to the very end. This is the fourth of my pain series that I started. It wasn't 3 weeks ago, it's been a little bit longer, but I had four pain patching talks, and this is the last one on headache pain. And if you want to see the other ones, I hope you'll go back and watch them. And they were everything from injury pain to surgery pain. And they're all on my my YouTube channel, Suzanne Roth-Paul Lifewave. So you can see them all there. And you can also catch them if you're on our team, your Team in Motion patching Q&A. The recording will be posted up there as well. And I think my previous talks are there as that you can watch. So I hope that you're going to stay with me to the end. We'll try to keep this to 30 minutes. I have a surprise guest that's here today. Some of you know who she is. Very excited to bring her on when we get started on the patching options, which she's going to be doing. And I have a raffle at the end that I've spoken about before. So those of you that are on with us today, you will be in on the raffle to win one of the three prizes that I will have for sticking with me here and supporting me on these pain patching series and also on my YouTube channel. So I do want to mention that we are talking about a wearable technology from Lifewave that our founder, David Schmidt, has created for so many of us in the wellness industry to really do our jobs well. And I give a lot of credit to David Schmidt, our founder, for allowing me as a health coach to succeed with a lot of my clients and my community. And you know who you are if you're watching this with me, that we've been able to really catapult your health into another dimension by wearing these patches. And I cannot say enough how grateful I am for having this amazing wellness tool in my pocket to help all the folks that I work with, and including my own health that has been transformed by wearing these patches. And I just want to digress for a minute and tell you that I got my hair done today, and I'm not mentioning it so you notice it, but the hairdresser, I hadn't seen her for 3 months, and when I walked in, she wanted to know who is highlighting my hair. And I said, you've forgotten, I don't highlight my hair. And I told her that it was from X39, the patches. And she knew about the patches. So I'm hoping to get her to work with me a little bit as a brand partner, because she's working on hair and people's heads all day long. So I thought that was a lot of fun for her to be able to know that the patches started doing wonders for my hair 6 months in to wearing the patches. And I'm close to 4 years now with Lifewave. All right, so let's get started. I want to talk to you about, before we get on to my outline, I want to ask you if you know what is the most sensitive pain point in your body. I'll give you a second to think about it, but I'm sure you'll probably guess that it has to do with headaches. Yeah, it's our forehead. So our forehead is one of the most sensitive parts of the body for pain. And if you are a headache sufferer, like I have been for most of my adult life, you know that there's nothing more painful than headaches. We would rather take any other pain in our body than have a headache, because you can't do anything when you have a headache. You can't sleep, you can't read, you can't watch TV. And it's virtually impossible to do anything with a headache. So I'm hoping that today you benefit from a lot of this information. It will be action-packed. I will be talking fast. That is going to hopefully give you tools to either mitigate a headache before it comes on, preventative, and then obviously the patching solutions. All right, so I also want to mention one more thing about what actually is a headache. While doing this research, I was quite fascinated to know that where headaches are coming from. So we all have nerve endings in our muscles and our blood vessels. And these triggers that I'll be sharing with you today that are cause of headaches, I'm talking about toxins, I'm talking about food, I'm talking about the environment, they activate these nerve endings that send a message to your thalamus in your brain. and that says red alert, a headache is coming on. So the brain does not actually feel pain. It's actually the muscles and the blood vessels in your neck and head that cause the pain. So it's why it's so important to patch a headache as early as you can to prevent it from getting worse. Now, I want to mention two things. If you can see me here, our veins on our necks on both sides of our head are where a lot of pain starts. And I have pain in my right side. If I press along there, you can feel sore spots. This is where I patch normally, and my right temple, which is where I get my headaches. This is where you get carotid arteries that cause strokes. So it's really important, folks, to pay attention to these veins on your neck. And if you've got tenderness, I've been putting carnosine to relax the muscles, and I'm hoping that that's going to prevent me from even getting close to a headache in the future. So really know that my free guide of the #1 poison to remove from your pantry is all about this #1 toxin I want you to get out. And I'll give you a hint, it's seed oils. So go in there, get the free guide, and you're going to find out what these oils are, what they're causing damage on our cardiovascular, and I give you all the solutions, of course. Okay, so let's get started on my outline. So today we're going to be talking about, obviously patching for headaches, but I'm going to go through a series of things. And one is what are types of headache pain, lifestyle causes of pain, and then diet-related causes, which obviously I love to talk about. We're going to discuss phototherapy briefly and how these patches actually work. And then our special guest, Nikki Chen, will be coming on to share her migraine story because she was a long-term sufferer until she started with Lifewave. And then she's going to present the patching options for us because she's an expert, and I know it well because I've recently had some headaches and she's helped me mitigate them with these protocols. And then last, we're going to have a raffle. So stick with me to the end so you hear what the 3 free gifts are. Okay, so now we're going to talk about types of headache pain or types of headaches. So we have cluster headaches, and this is what I personally suffer from, where they reoccur even days later. So they can usually happen on one side of the body, one side of the neck, one side of the brain, using your temples. We have tension headaches, and I like to call those, that's just basically brain overload when you get these. Exertion headaches. Now, those are brought on by exercise and heat induced, and I know these well because I get them. PMS headaches. Boy, did I have that in my 40s, 20 years ago. And they lead to hormone imbalances, and we're going to dive deep into that. So I hope you're ready to get your pen and paper and listen to all the things I have to share. Allergy and sinus headaches, and that involves foods to environmental that can be causal of these types of headaches. Then, of course, we have injury headaches, which are brought on by whiplash and concussions. Again, we're talking about the neck, which is all about circulation to your brain. And then last, but certainly not least, which Nikki will share about, migraine headaches, which are the most debilitating, that not only affects, obviously your inability to do anything, but your eyes and your sensory abilities. All right, so now we're going to talk about lifestyle causes. I'll dive a little bit deeper here now, and I'm going to talk about on each one of these, or most of them, about patches that I recommend that you use for prevention. So if you are a chronic headache getter, getting chronic headaches, these might be some patches you might want to consider wearing daily on specific strategic points where you feel that these headaches come from. Okay, so stress and tension. That's caused by relationships a lot of the time, from spousal relationship issues, friendships, work related, and then even neighbor issues. And that can bring on the tension, which brings on the stress, which then can cause a headache. My favorite patch for that is Aeon, and that's from our YH system. Okay, poor diet. This is one of my favorite subjects, and I'm just going to mention one ingredient that's awfully tempting and we all are addicted to, and that's sugar. Sugar creates cravings, which ends up causing you to eat more processed foods. So keep it in mind, simple carbs like your pastas, your rice, those things all turn into sugar into your system, and they can trigger some of the things I'm going to be talking about. So that's why I highly recommend that you consider the SP6 patch, because it is considered our hormone balancing patch, and it does help control cravings. All right, posture is all about misalignment. Now, we know that if your body's out of alignment, your head is out of alignment and your neck. And so keeping that in mind, I'm just going to mention here that there's a book that I absolutely love called the Egoscue Method, EGOS, what is it here? EGOSCUE. And if you get that book, there's amazing things you can do to properly align yourself. And it's done some great things for me. Also, yoga helps a lot for posture and lengthening your spine. So when we talk a little bit about, what patch I would use, we've had some great experience with X39 on the spine and wearing it every day for posture issues. Now we have head and neck injuries, which is related to posture. A lot of that is whiplash. So if you've hit your head on a kitchen cabinet, they're saying nowadays that you have a little mini concussion and a head injury. So keep that in mind, that our head and our neck is so sensitive to any sort of jarring and danger, jarring and symptoms that cause it to get out of alignment. I have an Atlas chiropractor, ATLAS, and she calls herself, she, tells you if you're not, if you don't have your head on straight, you won't have, good posture and good health. So she's another great source for me, but you can research them, maybe find one in your area. Again, we love wearing the X39 right on the top of the spine because that helps your neck and your shoulders. Okay, jaw and dental issues, big one. I don't know if you've got realized, but your health is your teeth are your gateway to good health. So if you have bad teeth, you pretty much have bad health. If you have good teeth, you're in pretty good shape. And teeth grinding is a common headache causer. And so it's also gum disease and bacterial infections and even tooth decay can cause headaches. So talk to your dentist if you're experiencing anything. Make sure your teeth are in alignment, your jaw, and the Y-age is fabulous for dental issues. Carnosine, glutathione, and of course Aeon. Let's see, we're going to be talking about sleep deprivation. Oh my goodness, that's a whole hour in itself discussing, but sleep deprivation can cause headaches because you're stressed out about it and you obviously aren't getting enough rest. I do want to tell you one of the things that I love, and I wear these 4 patches, I rotate them, is Silent Nights, Carnosine, Alavita, and Aeon. Depending on my mood, depending on what's going on in my life, those 4 patches I wear at night. So I highly recommend that for sleep deprivation. And then we'll mention, David. I just wanted to mention David Schmidt, our founder, has just introduced a new supplement line that I'm so excited about that's going to have magnesium, a type of magnesium in it called magnesium threonate. I have been looking for a product that has threonate in it that's clean, and I have not been able to find one. Hallelujah, David's created one for us. And I just want to tell you, if you have a lot of headaches, you probably are lacking in magnesium because magnesium helps at night for relaxation, calming your nervous system, and it supports stem cell vitality. So those magnesium is really, really important. It also supports over 300 metabolic processes. So get excited that David's going to be having a product out for us that we get to wear with the patches. And caffeine and it causes and withdrawals. We know that caffeine is very addictive. It can be very good for a lot of people. It can also be very harmful. So one of the things that I do recommend to people, if you are addicted to caffeine or you're trying to get off of it, is use green tea. Green tea is high in L-theanine, and it's one of my favorites. I love matcha green tea. It doesn't give me hangovers. It doesn't make me feel groggy. It doesn't give me headaches if I don't drink it. And it's very good for helping anxiety and stress. So keep that in mind. And of course, the patch we would always use for fatigue and needing extra support is the Energy Enhancer patch. And finally, illnesses, fevers, flus, and viruses. I had terrible flu just recently, and it was so cathartic to know that I had the Y-age and all the patches to help me through everything I was going through. And Nikki was helping me with the terrible headache that I had, which we're going to be talking about this protocols today. But the glutathione, carnosine, and Aeon are fabulous for when you're sick. Okay, so the last one here that we're going to talk about before we bring Nikki on is other causes. And of course, I'm going to go fast in this because there's a lot of good information I want to pack in here. Of course, we know that dehydration is a very common cause of headaches. I've had so many people say, if I just drink water more, I don't have as many headaches. Water transports oxygen and vital nutrients to the cells. And you lose hydration in your body by perspiration, urination, bowel movements even, and breathing. I didn't realize the source of breathing is actually excreting hydration out of our body. So here's my tip. I want you to know that you want to drink your half your weight in ounces. So if you weigh 150 pounds, you're going to need to drink 75 ounces of water every day. And that means you want to drink even more if you're using a lot of patches, and you're going to drink more if you exercise and sweat a lot. But here's what I do. I have a Yeti, really good quality stainless steel container. 2 of these meet the criteria I need to drink every day. So let's just say I fill this up in the morning. By the afternoon, I haven't finished this yet. I know my cells are dehydrated. So get yourself something like this. It's awfully clunky, but I have my beautiful Lifewave bottle here, and I just fill it up, and this is what I carry around with me. So it's a little bit easier and transportable. So that's a good tip. You want to make sure you're staying hydrated. Foods and environmental toxins. All right, this is big for me, is how these foods affect our hormones. So I want you to learn to be an ingredient reader, because chemicals in our foods from our air and also from our air and water are really causing so much havoc with our hormones. And you've heard that happy hormones means a happy woman, and it's pretty true. If your hormones are imbalanced, then you're imbalanced, and so is your emotions. But these products that they're putting in our foods and in a lot of our products that we wear on our bodies, your deodorants, your skincare products, that sort of thing, they're all estrogen mimickers. And what that means is they trick your body into believing that you have enough estrogen in your body. So your natural estrogen abilities of your hormones to make estrogen, they just give up. They're like, oh, we've got plenty of estrogen in our body, but it's the wrong kind. It's the harmful kind. So they're affecting, and estrogen, well, they're affecting your body negatively, but estrogen is so vital for good health. It helps your cognitive and brain function, and everybody's got brain fog today. Your bone structure and your bones need estrogen. It's really important for cardiovascular. So we're going back to what can really be causing headaches if you've got estrogen drops. And it's also for a healthy libido, and processed foods all wreaks havoc on all these things that I just talked about. So keep that in mind. I'll talk a little bit about sugar in a minute. Foods and medications. So let's talk about that just briefly. Medications are not benign either. In and of themselves are dangerous, but they also have hidden ingredients in them. And a lot of times they put in things like, wheat and gluten because as a thickening agent or a manufacturing agent in pills. So be highly aware that you could be having a reaction to the medication's ingredients as well as the medication. So learn to read and ask your doctor. Now we're going to talk about foods and sensitivities. I'm going to touch on quickly the top foods that are really aggravating for headaches. I know chocolate is one of my, banes of existence. I love chocolate and I can't eat it. But caffeine, chocolate, aged cheeses, and alcohol are all a product of a amino acid that is called tyramine. Now that's what's causing so many issues for people, is this tyramine is in excess in these otherwise healthy foods, not obviously alcohol, but if your aged cheeses are supposed to be better than some of your younger cheeses. But if you have headaches, you want to stay away from these things because of this amino acid that's aggravating your personal symptoms. Cured and processed meats, that's a huge one you want to stay away from. Fermented foods, pickled vegetables, all those things that are good for your gut really do aggravate. You just need to try it for yourself and see if it brings on a headache. Even tropical fruits have some issues, and citrus fruit. And I want to show here 2 of my favorite products that I love for processed meats, because I do like lunch meats and I do need them for additional protein last minute and for emergencies. One is called Applegate, and Applegate has a lot of kind of processed meats, but they don't have nitrates, they don't have sulfates, they don't have sugars, they don't have added ingredients that all the other products out there that the big box stores are selling. So if you can find Applegate. The other is called True Story. I love this product because they actually have chicken breast that are sliced pieces of meat, like they've just been cut off of a chicken thigh, a chicken breast. So these all are really clean products, and there's a lot of, and they're organic, of course, and there's a lot of good products out there. So please look them up and support these companies, so all the other companies will go out of business and we don't have so many toxins in our life. That's my dream, of course. Let's see. Okay, so we talked about that. Oh, alcohol. Now we know alcohol is problematic in so many ways, but beer, wine, and sherry and liqueurs, if you are a liqueur hardcore drinker and, kind of a cocktail drinker, be careful because they're high in sugar and those are what bring on migraines. And they also do, because they're high in sugar, they dehydrate you. So keep that in mind. And one of my favorite drinks, I thought it might be fun to share this, is tequila and or a good quality white tequila or white vodka in grapefruit juice. We're all enjoying that a lot here around my house, and it's a lot safer than some of these other drinks, some of these other alcoholic beverages. Okay, lastly, we want to go into sugar and artificial sweeteners. I'm just going to say here, because I'm getting low on time here, artificial sweeteners, just don't do them. They are so toxic. They're much worse than sugar. They literally are causing brain and body cell death. And they're probably one of the number one reasons why our Alzheimer's or dementia is off the charts, because everywhere I travel all over the world, and I travel often, and every single airplane is full of people drinking Coke Zero. Oh my God, please don't do that. I had a client that was addicted to them. He was drinking them quite regularly. They wanted to do a throat surgery on him because his throat was giving him trouble. And so we got him off of Coke Zero, and his symptoms abated. So you get sugar out of your body and artificial sweeteners, and your symptoms are going to go away. All right, blood sugar issues, just really quick on fluctuation and how important it is to know this. If you're a person who wakes up at night, everybody says, why do I wake up at 1 o'clock in the morning? I can't go back to sleep. Why do I wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning? I can't go back to sleep. Well, it's either estrogen drops, which we talked about estrogen earlier, or blood sugar drops. And what it means is your body is your brain is begging for nutrition because you've depleted it either from days before or from the day of. So what you eat matters. And if you're eating sugary foods and you're not getting enough fiber and enough protein, your brain needs that to do its vital work at night while you're sleeping, which is detoxification and resting and digesting. There's a whole host of things. So keep that in mind, that pay attention to what you're eating the day before or a few days before if you are waking up, because that's impacting your so important sleep. And then finally, sleep apnea. Now that can be aggravated by all the causes above, mainly alcohol. My husband, when he drinks excess of wine, he snores. Thank God for silent nights, because we get that on him, and I put that on the side of his neck. It's causing your oxygen levels to your brain. You're basically suffocating your brain, and it's really not safe for you to be snoring and to have sleep apnea. So you want to get something to help and support that. But also, I just want to, quickly reiterate that it's hard to get those machines that are actually dangerous now, that a lot of people are finding they don't work. My local biological dentist has me on something called Breathe Right. Sorry, it's not called Breathe Right. What's the name of it? Nose Breathe. And it comes in a little container like this. It's $30 or $40. And the mouth guard is a little silicone thing that is now disappeared. It's just a little silicone mouthpiece that you put in, and it really helps you if you're an open mouth breather or you have sleep apnea and you need to keep your mouth closed and keeping your tongue in place. Again, a fabulous little thing. Oh, it's inside. It looks like this. So it's just a little mouth guard, not the most attractive, but fortunately my husband and I both wear one. So we giggle at each other that we can't even kiss goodnight. Okay, so that's it for other causes. Now we're going to talk quickly about phototherapy and how these patches work. So how can Lifewave patches help without harmful meds and surgeries, which is my favorite subject? So they're based on a type of light therapy called photobiomodulation. Lifewave patches contain very specific combinations of organic materials and nanocrystals. When applied or near the body, they are activated by our own body heat. And this heat emitted they begin to emit a very specific wavelength of light, which stimulates targeted and beneficial biochemical responses in the body. This photobiomodulation is the basis for our Lifewave phototherapy patches and the technology. And we love it because they're non-transdermal, so nothing goes into the body. Perfectly safe and harmless. Even if you need to wear medications, you never have to worry about any issue with them. So now it's time to bring up our special guest, Nikki Chen, who's going to talk to us about her personal journey. Hi, Nikki.
Hi, Suzanne.
So nice to see you, dear. And thank you so much for all that you do for all of us at Lifewave and our team in motion, and what you do for me. I cannot express my gratitude. But I was really shocked to hear that you were a migraine sufferer for most of your life. You want to talk about that? This amazing story.
Yes, so headache is something that is just constant for myself and my sisters. Um, 40 years ago, my father passed away from extreme migraine headache. And I learned that his side of the family, his brothers, sisters, all passed away from extreme headache. And that's when my sisters, my older sisters and I, just in a panic mode, it's like, oh my gosh, are we going to be next? What's going on? Why we always have headache? And that's when my father passed away, that's when we wanted to have a scan. And the doctor said, no, you don't want to do that. You don't want to, inject a dye into your body to find out if your brain is okay. And then we were very young at that time. So we just lived with headache and until Lifewave came along. Didn't even think about it, just used to patch every day. Until one day I just realized that. Actually, Larry noticed. He said that, hey, Nikki, I haven't heard you complain about having headache. And I go, yeah, I didn't have any migraine headache. So that's when I started looking into the different ways to patch to help people. I have to say that I am very grateful to the patches because over the last 12 years, my success using the patches to help people with headache is 100%.
Wow.
100%. So I started out before the company has Lifewave, X39. So you can use X39. A lot of people use X39 and it helps them. But you can use, but the two patches I love the most is Icewave and Aeon. Okay, start out with Icewave, and I'll teach you how to patch for headache. But the most important thing is how to patch to prevent having. Okay, for those that have headache, when the headache, your migraine is going to hit you. Because the shoulders is just stiff. It's just like, oh my God, just so stiff, and the pressures is kind of rising. If you can stop it, then you wouldn't have to deal with it. But if you don't stop that, the pressure rise up from the shoulder to your neck, and then once it hit your head, there's really nothing you can do except go to sleep. And that's what I used to do. I just go to sleep. I'll cry. There's no medication that can help me. I just cried until I got so tired, I'll fall asleep. I woke up and I'll be fine. I'm glad to say that I didn't have to do that for the last 12 years. So I'll share with everyone how I patch. Okay. So these are the two patches that you need to always have with you if you are, if you're surrounded people that have headache. Icewave and Aeon. Icewave come in a set. You have the brown patch, and then you have the white, and then of course Aeon, just in case you need it. So here is the instructions from the company. And I want all of you to read along with me on the step. Step number 1, it said, place a white patch on a large intestine 4. This point is actually a meridian. But a lot of information, patching protocol, I just say placement, but it's actually a meridian point. It's called large intestine 4. Place a white patch on the right hand and the tan patch on the same point on the left. Now, this is the point that I want to point out. If the pain is not reduced in 10 seconds, 10 seconds, move to the next step. How amazing is this? When I read that, if it's the person that shared Lifewave with me, when he had me read the instruction booklet and they say 10 seconds, I just dropped my jaw. I said, what in this world that works in 10 seconds? I can take ibuprofen, it still didn't work for me, your Motrins and all of that. But in 10 seconds, you should notice a difference. Okay. So looking at this, you saw, you saw 7 different points, so 7 steps. Remember the point, you have step number 1, 2 at your wrist, 3 is on your shoulder, 4 behind your ear, 5 is by the temple area, 6 is above your eyebrow, and 7 is just right here in front of your ear. So I'm gonna stop sharing and I'm gonna show you what to do. What you need to do is invest in a roll of tape. For all of you that have brand partner,
Yeah.
Always carry a roll of tape. Why? Because the patch works so well, you do not need to put the patch on the skin. You don't need to remove the backing of the patch. Use a roll of tape. And for those of you that actually follow these steps, get back to me and we can talk about it, because a lot of people do it their own way. You know, I have headache here, you put a patch here. You have headache up here, you put a patch up there. You can follow this step and you will have 100% success, okay? So the instruction earlier, it said white on the right side and brown on the left. Now, usually when you have headache, you know, all that instruction, you don't even remember. You cannot even read. That's what happened to me. I couldn't even read, you know, all these pictures, all these wordings, like I can't even open my eye to read something, right? So what I do is, you know, you memorize the points. So the first point is right here on your hand. If you are helping somebody, you take both patches, put the tape like this on your index finger, white on the right and brown on the left. But if you are helping someone, make sure you reverse that so that the white is on your left and the brown is on the right, because you are helping somebody. So I use my thumb and the patch. I literally just take this and place over with my thumb like this. Okay, so you put the patches on both sides with my thumb folding, pressing it down. And then you ask a question. I'll say, let's say Suzanne. I'll say, Suzanne, this is point number 1. How do you feel? Because the instructions said within 10 seconds, you should notice a difference. So Suzanne, how do you feel? Well, my hand is right there, right? And then Suzanne probably say, well, it's still there. Don't stop. Okay, it's okay, right? Now you move from point 1 to point 2, which is by the wrist area. I move it within 10 seconds. So I'm going to move to this point number 2. I'm going to ask the same question. Suzanne, how do you feel? Suzanne might say, well, I think it's calming down. Okay, don't stop, because you have 7 steps to go. So now you move from the wrist area, put the patch on the shoulder. Again, my thumb is pressing on it, right? And then now I ask Suzanne, Suzanne, is point number 2 better, or is this point number 3 better? Suzanne might say, oh, I think the shoulder is better. Again, don't stop. You move to point number 4, behind the ear, below the ear. Suzanne, is the shoulder better, or is this better? Oh, I think that one is better, right? And I have people do that all the time. Yeah. And then I move again to point number 5. Is this better, or is behind the ear better? And then Suzanne probably go, no, I think behind the ear is better. Okay, I'm gonna move again above the eyebrow. Is this better, or over here is better? Because this point doesn't work, right? So is the behind the ear better, or is it above the eyebrow better? And then last point is in front of the ear. Okay, and then what if Suzanne said, oh, right there, right, that's the point that I feel better. Okay, let me try it one more time. Go back to step number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, now Suzanne probably by that time to go, oh, I think 7 is the point. Guess what I do? I take off the patch and I put the 2 patches right there, because that's the point that is giving her the most headache. I leave it there. We chit chat for about 5-10 minutes. I'll come back and I'll ask Suzanne, how's your headache? Usually by that time, so, oh no, I don't feel the headache anymore. Guess what I do? I take the patches, put it away.
Wow.
Okay, that's how you help someone with headache. Now, what if somebody is experiencing migraine and it's just hurting so bad? You go through 1 round, 2 rounds, and then they're not noticing the difference. This is when you go to the next one. Let me share my screen one more time. This is called brain balancing. There are 5 points. So what you do is you take out 5 Aeons, and again, you have your roll of tape. You do not need to remove the backing of the patch. You take 5 Aeons and put behind the neck. above each ear, on your forehead, and then on top of the head. Leave the 5 patches on with a tape, okay? After you do that, now you go back to the 7 steps and you try it again. Step 1, step 2, step 3, 4, 5, and 6. And by the time you're done, this person will go, wow, what a relief. Okay. Now, what if this person said, well, it's dropped tremendously. You know, the pain is not there, but it's still a little bit. That's when you can decide to leave the ice wave for them and have them use the patches for the rest of the day. Okay. And it does work. Let me tell you a quick story. My daughter, she, one day she woke up, in the morning. I go, how come she's still in the room? How come she didn't get up and get ready? Because I didn't hear any noise. And I knock on the door. She go, Mom, I just called in sick. My head hurt. And then I go, my head hurt. Did you patch? Mom, my head hurt. It's like, okay, I couldn't do it. I'm just going to be in bed. I couldn't do anything. Sure enough, I patch her. I do the 7 step. It didn't help her. I brain balance. And then I went back to the 7 step. And then she looked at me. She go, oh. I was like, guess I asked her how's her head. Go, oh. It's like, okay. Oh, now get up and go get ready and go to work.
Damn. She should have lied and said it doesn't help, but I'm going to stay in bed, but it did help. Great story,
So
Nikki.
basically, that's how you patch for headache, and it works every single time. Okay. You just have to be very patient with this person, because when somebody is in pain, and especially head pain, they cannot think. I was there. I know how the person feels. They cannot think, so don't ask questions. Just go in. How do you feel? How do you feel? Is this better, or is the other one better? Is your hand better? Is your shoulder better? Okay, is this point better? Is this point better? Is this point better? Is this point better? That's all you do until this person just put a smile on their face, and then you just did your job.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, Nikki. That is amazing. And it prompted me to realize that I did jump around quite a bit with that protocol, and it never really, it wasn't consistent. And then I love how you talk about the neck, and that's obviously where these carotid arteries can happen. And so that's probably what happened to your poor family members, was this was the point of pain. And if they'd only had them, and I told you, I'm going to start wearing carnosine on my neck, because I think that helps relax the muscle. And then maybe we'll see if I can mitigate the headaches altogether. So thank you. That's incredible. I appreciate it.
You're
Okay.
welcome.
Yeah. So we are at the top of the hour here, or a little bit over. So we do want to do this raffle that I spoke about. And thank you. There's a small group here, so there's a good chance a few of you guys are going to be winners here. The first thing that I'm going to mention is we had a Lifewave patch pouch, and this is what we use for traveling. All of us that are brand partners, senior president, all of us that are really into using Lifewave products and traveling with them. This has got a wonderful little case inside of all the different compartments that you can put your patches, and you can travel with them. And this has been my savior. So that's going to be our first person. Nikki, do you want to go ahead and I guess we can spin the wheel and see who is the lucky winner? We have Donna. Yay, Donna. Okay. Yeah, so I guess with Donna, if she has one of these, obviously you still want one, you're welcome to it. You can also gift it to somebody if you do. But in the meantime, I'll need to get your information. Nikki, were we going to just gather that today, or was she can put it on the chat?
I have Donna's information. I can send it to you.
Okay, wonderful. Congratulations, Donna. So the second thing that I'm raffling is my Poisons in the Pantry ebook. Oh, you're welcome, Donna. You're welcome, sweetie. I hope you don't have one. Be great if this is new for you. So the next one is my Poisons in the Pantry ebook. Now, this is a 20-page ebook. You're not going to get it in this format. You'll get it virtually, but I'm going to be gifting this to you. And I will need your email address, and I'll be sending it to you. The only thing I ask is please go get the free guide, because that information is not in here. And you can get the free guide on my website, secretstoRadianthealth.com. There's the links are on there for the freebie, and then also my Instagram page at Your Wellness Designer. Okay, so let's spin up for this, see who's going to be the winner there. Is that Adelaide? Adeline. Yay. Okay, Adeline, congratulations. Again, we'll get your email and we'll get this off to you as soon as possible. Thank you for being here today. Okay, and the last and final spin will be for a private coaching session with me for 1 full hour. We'll talk about anything you want to. We can talk about the poisons in the pantry. We can talk about your ingredient list, or we can talk about Lifewave support. I'm happy to help out in any way that I can. So let's see who the lucky winner is on that. This is so much fun. William, all right, we have a man in the house. All right, so William, again, what I would need from you on that is just your email address, and I'll send you an invite, and we'll set up the time, and we'll probably do a Zoom call. All right. So, anything you need, Nikki? From all good there?
So I don't have, I'm not sure which William. So William, please contact us or telegram me or Suzanne on Telegram. I'll leave your phone number or email address here.
Okay, great. All righty. So in closing, I just want to thank all of you for being here today, and I hope that you got some valuable information. If you are new to Lifewave, please reach out to the person who invited you. And lastly, our Team in Motion has a website called yourteaminmotion.com. Lots of testimonials, lots of information, and you know how to reach me. I'm on all kinds of social media, Suzanne Roth-Paul. You can find me most everywhere. So thank you for being here today, and look forward to my next week's talk. I think I'm going to start discussing more in depth about the patches, and it's going to probably be on SB6 because it's one of my favorite patches. So we're going to talk about that most likely next Thursday. Look forward to seeing you again, and thank you for being here. Bye, Nikki.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.